All right, guys. So we just finished part 2 of leading out of crisis. What an incredible talk. We started out with going into understanding what we're doing, and through this, he gave us the 6 keys to leading out of the crisis. So the fact that we're leading out of a crisis. The thing that you want to remember is we've never been here before. So we're leading out of something that we've never been before. And so if you are leading the same way that we are going into it and doing the same way out of it, you're probably leading with the wrong strategy and the wrong plan. He said there's nothing usual about this future that we're going into. So to think that everything's going back to normal is the wrong thought process to have. Key number 1 was question everything and be willing to change anything. Guys, if you're in the same over and over and over again, expecting different results, that is the definition of insanity. So if you're looking at everything around you today and you're not getting the results that you want, maybe it's time to question what you're doing and start changing things up. As leaders, key number 2 is we need to listen more and talk less. And us as leaders, we have a hard time doing that. I mean, think about that. Right now, I'm on a Zoom and podcast talking to you. I'm not exactly listening to you, but I'm talking to you. So we need to learn to listen more than we talk. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, and we should use them in that proportion. He said, it's important that your team hears from you, but it's actually more important that you hear from your team right now so that you know and understand what they need and want. That's one of the things that Stephanie and I do a lot is when we do trainings, it's not just us coming and teaching you things, because who knows, we may not even be teaching the thing that you need. That's why we tend to do Q&A type trainings, because of the fact that if we know what it is you need, we are better to equip you. So listening and answering is more important than telling and expecting that to be what they need. And he said 3 questions that are really good to ask right now are, how are you? How can I help? And what should we change about our strategy? And I want to touch on that one really quick, because that was huge. It wasn't, should we change something in our strategy? The thing is that we know everything's different. So it should be understood that we need to change something. We just need to figure out what it is. Number 3 is help your hurting team members heal. Guys, we know that everybody's just gone through something, and some people are still going through this and having to decompress it all. So take the time to go through and ask them questions about how they're doing so you can find ways to help them through what it is that they're doing. You've got world-class people on your team and they're struggling right now. So what is it that you could do to help them? If they don't know that you care, they might not possibly stay. So if you're taking the time investing in them and letting them know that you care, that creates a stronger bond, a stronger team, which pushes you further than where you would be had you not started asking those questions. Number 4 was lead like you're onboarding your entire team. Guys, sometimes your leaders forget what the basics are, because they're so busy being in the mix of things that, they miss and they forget what the values are, what the mission is, and they focus more on the strategy and things of doing rather than why we're doing it. And that causes people to tend to get burnt out, because if you're just focused on the doing, and you forget about why you're doing it, that leads to fatigue. So don't assume that everybody on your team knows why they're doing it, or remembers the mission, or even the basics. So go back to teaching your team the basics and connecting with people on why they did this. Ask them, why are you here? And why do you need this? That will help you uncover things to help them drive and restore and refill themselves. Because once you have everybody excited and remembering why they're doing it, the work gets fun again. And when the work is fun, everybody does more, and everybody together wins and achieves more. Number 5, give your team quick wins. Stephanie is sitting over here, and I said, oh my gosh, this one is huge. And we always talk about BHAGs, the big, hairy, audacious goals. And Craig said that there's a time and a place for those, but that time and place is not right now. Right now, you need to have what he created, which is called SBAGs. They are stretching but achievable goals. Guys, if you look at your business right now, we created those for you at the end of last year with the new best fast start bonus program in the industry that helps you see quick wins right away every single week. But then we also gave you a stretch goal, which are the success bonuses, where if you combine your foreign friends over a certain amount of times, you get another bonus on top of that. And by combining those, you get quick wins and stretch wins. And if you combine those and compound those long enough, your team can have amazing results. He said, set goals that you can acquire in the next 1 to 5 weeks. So with your fast start bonuses, you can achieve those weekly. And, in that 5-week time frame, if you string enough of those together, you can have a success bonus. And that is how we're able to give you quick wins that make you feel like you're accomplishing things. Because right now, everyone feels like there's more losses than there are wins on the scoreboard because of everything going on in everybody's life. So if we can give you quick wins, that will keep you in the game long enough to win the championship. And then number 6, finally, was communicate twice as much as you feel is natural, and then double it. That's one of those things that everybody always thinks that they're over communicating, but to the people that you're communicating to, they often feel that you're under communicating to them. So whenever you feel like you're communicating, double it and then double it again. The 3 things that he talked about were communicate frequently, do it often, more than you would think. Communicate intimately. Don't just do it in group settings. Take people aside and coach and mentor them individually. And then communicate proactively. Tell everybody where you're going. Tell them before you think they need to hear from you. Don't wait and be reactionary and reacting to situations. If you can head them off, you'll have a much better success and chance of leading people through crisis than you would having to clean up messes. Tell them where they're going. And then when you're telling them that, and when you're doing it, tell them as well. And then when you get to the end, tell them what you told them. That way you reinforce and cause the information to go deeper. Your leadership always matters, but it matters more now than ever before, because everyone seems to think that we're rebuilding. Guys, we're not rebuilding. We've never been rebuilding. We're always building to bigger and better. So it doesn't matter where you're at right now. If you choose today to start building, you will continue to build regardless of what you do and what happens in life. The one thing that we know about leadership is there are going to be bumps along the road. We're prepared for them. We're planning for them. We may not know what they are, but we're ready and we're strong enough together to overcome them. You are uniquely called to lead in this environment. You don't manage your way out of a crisis. You lead your way out of crisis. Guys, go out today and take action and take a stand to lead and do the actions for people to follow you out of a crisis, as opposed to just telling people what to do. Because managers tell people what to do and sit and watch them do it, while leaders get in the trenches and do it first so that other people can follow in their steps much easier.